Imagine this. You're going somewhere, maybe to work, school, college, hospital, it doesn't matter because you're stuck in traffic right now. You turn around to see a bunch of cops pull over and they're trying to clear the way. Now, you hope that maybe this is for an ambulance, but we've seen this so many times already that we know exactly what this is. It's a convoy. It's a convoy of a VIP, a very important person. 20, 30 cars, maybe 100 to 150 officials running back and forth, trying to clear the way, providing security to the very important person, and all that jazz. So when you see this, you can't help but ask yourself that India is actually divided into two types of people. One, the very important folks, the VIPs, and the second is people like you and me, the average regular folk. Don't you think that when a VIP convoy passes, people stand in lines as if they're criminals waiting for their trial? From childhood, we are taught a lot of things. And one of those things is this hierarchical system that there are two types of people. One who deserve everything and the others who do not. Some people get respect by default and others don't get anything till they earn it. We also tout this weird notion that few are born to give orders and the rest of us are supposed to follow these orders like sheep. If we want to understand this VIP culture, we need to understand this very core concept. VIP culture doesn't come from political power, but rather it comes from social power. Now imagine this scenario. A rich man walks in with his kid. The principal looks at them, greets them with a smile, treats them well, and just wants to have this kid in their school. But at the same time, if another man walks in who happens to be poor with his kid, the principal will not treat him well. We all know the kind of expressions the principal will give. We've seen this way too many times. You've seen it. I've seen it. I know I have. You see, respect in India is not earned, it's pre-assigned. In a country where people worship status and power, VIP culture is just a natural progression. I would call it a natural evolution, in fact. Now, whenever you criticize this VIP culture, a bunch of people pop up and they say that this is for security reasons, and they have to do it because this is protocol. Now, let's dismantle this belief. Let's break the illusion. Now, to those people who say that this is for security reasons, I just want to ask you one thing. If this is for security, then why are ambulances being stopped? Why are school buses being stopped? Why are flights being delayed for a politician who can be on time to save his own life? And why are we clearing entire highways for one politician's convoy? I mean, seriously? In a country of 1.4 billion people, the biggest threat to this politician is people like you and me? Are we supposed to believe that bullshit? The thing is, this is not about security at all, but this is about power. This is about flexing. Because the real message here is we own the road. We own your time. We own your life. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Every barricade is a psychological reminder that you are not equal. And every siren is a declaration for you to get out of the way because somebody way more important than you is passing. So, peasants, please stay off the road. You see, humiliation isn't just an emotion, it's a wound. A slow, silent wound that changes how a society behaves. Indian citizens today behave like people who've been humiliated and subjugated for decades, if not centuries. I mean, look around. People don't complain. People don't protest. People don't question. Hell, people don't even demand for their own rights. You know why that is? Because deep down inside, every single one of us know that none of us own this country. This country belongs to the VIPs. Not even a kid needs to be told that. When a citizen feels irrelevant, three things happen. The first thing that happens is he stops expecting fairness. He stops hoping that the ambulance reaches on time. He'll stop expecting that government officials will respect him. He'll even stop believing that the system works for him. And the second thing that happens when a citizen feels irrelevant is that he stops feeling ownership of his own country. They've seen how these VIPs are treated and how they themselves are treated. So an average Indian citizen has no illusion. And this explains exactly why people litter in this country. Would you litter inside your own house? No, right? You try to keep it clean. This is the mindset behind it. When you don't feel ownership of something, when you don't feel like something belongs to you, you don't take care of it. Hence, our people don't care about civic sense and all. And the third thing that happens when somebody feels irrelevant is he starts to feel that exploitation is normal. This is just everyday life. Because when your dignity doesn't matter, your time doesn't matter, your emergencies don't matter, you don't matter. Your rights don't matter. So no Indian lives under this delusion that he's equal to some VIP guy. We know we aren't. You see, VIP culture doesn't just create inequality, it actually creates psychological surrender. You see, there's something very darkly theatrical about our VIP culture. The sirens, the lights, the noise, the cops running, the barricade. It's like a show. It feels like a performance. It is a visual reminder of power. Because the point isn't traveling from point A to point B safely and securely. The point is to do with as much pomp as possible, to create as much disruption as possible. This is all about look at me. I can make your whole world come to a halt. Look at how much the system bends around for me. The power isn't in the movement of this convoy. The power lies in making other people stop. That is where the power lies. That is where the kick lies. You see, this is why VIP culture is designed to be seen. It's insecurity masquerading as protocol. Whenever a VIP person gets a privilege, from our taxes, you and me, people like us, we pay for that. But when a common man suffers, nobody gives a crap. In fact, there are people who would say that these people are freeloaders. People who genuinely need help are freeloaders, but not these VIP motherfuckers. Let's imagine a scenario. You're in a hospital in an emergency room. You're looking for a bed. You don't get a bed because they say that's all full. Suddenly a VIP enters, and out of nowhere, out of thin air, a bed appears. And you're just standing there for hours. For hours. Nobody has even spoken with you. Nobody's communicated with you in a clear way. But 10, 15 doctors have surrounded this VIP asshole who has just entered. A laborer is late for his work, he loses a day's wage. A gig worker will lose his income. People will miss their flights. But the VIP doesn't have to care about anything at all, right? What about the ambulance who couldn't make it on time because this asshole blocked the roads? Who's going to pay for that? I know who's going to pay for that, but it's the average citizen. There was this one time when I saw this old guy standing near the barricade. Clearly, he was in a hurry because he looked very anxious. He had a plastic bag in his hand. Imagine making your elderly stand near a barricade in the sun for some asshole, for some power-tripping egomaniac lunatic. And when I looked at that old man's face, he was not angry. Rather, there was a strange calm in his face. I could see patience. Maybe he was 60 years old. And he has been seeing this bullshit for the past 40, 50 years. I don't know. You can clearly tell that he's used to that. Now let's talk about the people who enforce this crap. The police. Well, if you've seen any VIP convoy, you know exactly how the police behaves. Why do you think they're yelling at the crowds? Their family members could be in the crowds, right? They do this because they're exhausted. They're sweaty. They're frightened. In their minds, their fear is much more stronger than your frustration. Because if anything goes wrong, even if a biker got way too close to the convoy, the VIP won't go against the highest ranking police official, by the way. He probably is friends with him. Instead, he'll go after the lowest ranking official, probably a constable. You see, there's this psychological term called power distance. So this can explain how much a society is willing to accept inequality. To what extent are they willing to accept inequality? In low power distance countries, most people think that we are all equal. Everybody under a common constitution, everybody's got equal rights. No person is above another person. But in high power distance countries, people automatically, naturally believe that some people are better than others. Some people deserve power, some people don't. Some people are objectively better than others. Imagine which category does India fall in. This is why the VIP culture survives, because the society quietly approves of it. We love hierarchy, we love superiority, we love status. We worship status. We love status so much that when somebody gains power, we automatically expect them to behave like a VIP. A minister is walking alone. Our people will probably say that he's weak. A politician is standing in a queue. People will say, does he even have any power? If he travels in a car with no sirens, he doesn't even have any authority. Lamau. India doesn't simply tolerate VIP culture. It actively feeds it. It encourages it. It strengthens it. Because we don't want equality. What we rather want is elevation. And when we ourselves cannot get that elevation, we just hope to be under somebody who does. When a nation normalizes VIP behavior, it spreads. Not just among politicians, not just among celebrities, but everyone. Hence, a gated society secretary becomes a VIP. A school principal becomes a VIP. A government clerk becomes a VIP. And when the time is right, even a mall security guard becomes a VIP. Because everybody wants special treatment. Everybody loves to be called a VIP. Everybody loves the status that comes with it. Everybody loves the power that comes with it. Because as messed up as it is, an average Indian has this weird desire to be above somebody. Now, let me say something very uncomfortable. The core problem of all of us Indians is we don't see ourselves as citizens, but rather we see ourselves as subjects. Sometimes even slaves. Things are that bad in some places. Because a citizen demands for justice, a subject hopes for mercy. A citizen questions the system, and a subject fears authority. A citizen sees his leader as his equal, but a subject sees his leader as his master. This is what VIP culture does to people. When a politician breaks a law, Indians say, "Arre chalta hai," is important. But God forbid if a common man breaks a law. All hell breaks loose. Fine him. Arrest him. Hang him. Because deep down inside, we don't give a crap about equality. In most countries, respect is earned. But here in India, respect is demanded. You respect your elders even when they're wrong. You respect status even if it's undeserved. You respect wealth even if it's stolen. You respect politicians even when they're corrupt. And you respect power even if it abuses you. Respect here is not an admiration, it's fear. It's simply fear, nothing else. And this is exactly why the VIP culture will not die on its own. Because to kill the VIP culture, we have to kill this illusion that has been etched into our national psyche that power deserves obedience. VIP culture survived for so long because people could only see one side of the story, the VIP side. Now, with the advent of social media, people could finally see the side of the people who were getting negatively affected by this VIP culture. All those ambulances that were stopped, people who couldn't make it to the hospital in time and lost their lives, students getting late for their exams, flights getting delayed, entire highways shut down for ribbon cuttings, citizens being slapped by VIP security, children forced into rehearsals for days, airports blocked for celebrity departures. People are now seeing the pattern. And now people are asking, why does my life has to stop for this guy's convenience? VIP culture is not about making some VIP feel powerful, but rather it is about making the average citizen feel powerless. This is why they need you to stand, they need you to wait, they need you to obey, they need you to watch, they need you to feel inferior. Your submission is their validation, your inconvenience is their status symbol, your silence is their safety, and your humiliation is their authority. VIP culture isn't just a privilege, it's actually a psychological architecture designed to create distance. Not just physical distance, emotional distance, societal distance, from power, from status. In a way, VIP culture screams in our face by saying, know your fucking place. You see, it's very easy to blame everything onto the politicians, but a lot of this VIP culture is encouraged by ordinary citizens as well. People who chase celebrities at airports, people who touch politicians' feet, people who drop whatever they're doing to watch a VIP convoy, people who worship wealth and power, people who confuse fear with respect. VIP culture thrives because we let it thrive. Every time you let someone jump the line, every time you treat somebody as more important, every time you move aside without questioning, and every time you internalize your own inferiority, you strengthen this VIP system. This VIP culture is nothing without spectators. Power only exists if the people are willing to remain powerless. Now let's do a thought experiment. None of this will happen, but it's a fun thing to imagine. How about we imagine every single Indian as a VIP? Like the system treats all of us like VIPs. Ambulances are given priority the way convoys are. Teachers are getting the respect VIPs get. Nurses and doctors are getting police protection. Delivery workers are getting clear roads. And a common citizen is being treated with respect and dignity. The pregnant woman who is being rushed to a hospital in an ambulance doesn't have to wait anymore. And no senior citizen has to stand in the sun near a barricade waiting for the convoy to pass. We have to replace this VIP culture, man. It has to be replaced with prioritized ambulances, fast-track emergencies, urgent access for the ill, pregnant and elderly, respect for public time, respect for public spaces, and respect for the dignity of a common man. Imagine a country where the system protects ordinary citizens just as much as it protects the VIPs. A lot of you must be thinking that it's fantasy, right? No, it's not fantasy. This is how democracy is supposed to work. Now I'll leave you with this. We often hear this word VIP, right? I think this term should exist, but it shouldn't apply to the people it usually is applied to. You see, the real VIP is the man who pays taxes without avoiding them, is the woman who works two jobs to survive, is the delivery boy who's working day in, day out. It is the policeman working 18-hour shifts. It is the farmer feeding the nation. It is the teacher shaping young minds. It is the nurse staying awake at 3 a.m. It is the laborer who's built our buildings, roads, and bridges. These are the people who hold India together, not the VIPs. VIP culture will not disappear when the powerful change. VIP culture will disappear when the powerless refuse to act helpless. We don't need revolutions. We just need to stop worshipping authority, stop romanticizing power, stop accepting humiliation, stop giving status when none is deserved. And most importantly of all, start seeing yourself as a citizen, not as a subject, not as a slave. I'll see you soon.